October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement.
In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people to present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From the testimonies, the truth will become clear.
Very well.
Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today.
You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was presenting the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here.
Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder.
Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay.
Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. The day of the murder. I enter the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp, it ended at 4. I was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, and we all went to Studio 1. That's all.
I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you.
The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Van added to the court record. Manella used his van to drive Vasquez to the Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer.
I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination?
It's the final battle, Nick. Let's do it.
Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same can be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. I have a... Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else? One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. I had some evidence to prove that she didn't eat that steak. Oh, there weren't any bones on the plate in the front of that container. Ha! As I thought! You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not!
What's this now, Mr. Wright?
Look at this.
It's a plate?
This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like the incinerator.
I see. And what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai.
Order! Are you saying?
Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands.
Mr. Wright! Isn't that a little presumptuous?
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What?
What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body.
I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. Well, it was broken and mended with duct tape, so I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was a security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest?
Order! Order!
Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was?
I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well. Let's see this murder weapon then.
Look at this photo.
Whoa, what is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended! Mr. Wright! What is this all about?
This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a cloak kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth? You still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest?
What? Are you saying?
Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again!
Mr. Wright, continue!
It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Misty Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say.
In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago!
Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I can use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? In the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I dispose of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to the Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed. Oh, Mr. Wright! How could she have dealt with the body?
She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body? Other than with her own hands? For instance... Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body.
With a car. Miss Vasquez, you carried a body to Studio 1. And you use a studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez? Shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer! Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. In the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What?
Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof.
Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? I can testify again!
Testify again!
No one to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I would testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. It's come so far only to fail.
And it seems there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Objection! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Edward's trying to pull a phoenix.
I see very well.
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I am your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I do see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about?
Well, yes, Indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick, why did Edgeworth...
Who knows?
He probably realized she did it too. But... Wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that?
Edgeworth. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key, you need to twist the truth out of her, Nick.
Right. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal. So I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet.
Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help.
Oh? What did I just say? I meant to say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes. You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy.
Boy?
The witness will continue her testimony.
Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm. You certainly seem calm enough when I accuse you of murder. I'm not gonna get anything out of this statement. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. And then, silence. Dead silence. Silence.
Hey, Nick?
Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Oldbag, the security lady. Why did she security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio.
Right, the Steel Samurai. You asked to be left out.
Yes. It seemed that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing.
But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us.
Covered for you. Or covered it up for you. Must have been a lot riding on it when all those big was at the meeting. Sure, professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning.
The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not.
Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes?
Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything.
Why?
There was a murder, after all. Who else could think of rehearsing after that?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue.
Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. You're the prosecutor, sir. Think! Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what this means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1.
Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What have you just said? Is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change in defense?
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation?
I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me.
So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. You fool! How'd you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, director.
Before it was Powers that was injured.
You knew that Hammer was injured.
Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was a Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers!
What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself!
Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Pretending?
One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured?
I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong.
I think not. Mr. Manala was at the run-through that morning. He would have known if it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez? Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manala. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes!
Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured?
Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Oh!
And when was he doing this?
Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered.
Exactly. Miss Vasquez? You met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping! And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning.
Order! Order! I will have order!
Witness? Can you refute this claim?
Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez.
Very well. I have a question for you.
Irk. Why are the real killers always so persistent? They don't want to be caught, obviously.
Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing.
Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive?
Yes? Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof.
This is the photo from before.
This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom.
His guilt weighed him down, no doubt.
However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change.
Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate.
Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star.
One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have?
Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine.
Mr. Wright? Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.
Well, she had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor.
What's that now?
It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs, in self-defense.
What's that now?
It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez.
What? What?
Your Honor? Jackhammer drugged Mr. Powers with the sleeping pills. Jackhammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jackhammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jackhammer made his way into the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who has so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Ah! Miss Vasquez! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please, try to remain calm. No! No! How could this? It was an accident! Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again.
Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez?
In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever.
I see. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
it appears you have brought about yet another miracle.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle.
Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned.
October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me?
Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai.
Because I was a Steel Samurai?
Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you.
I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time.
I think you're missing the point.
Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over.
So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP.
Oh! Well, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and
Is something wrong?
No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth!
Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk.
Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth!
You don't waste any time gloating, do you?
No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in.
Ah, pleased to meet you. I'm Powers.
Ah, Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers.
Liar!
Right. I must say, I didn't expect to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better if we had not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings.
Unnecessary feelings?
Yes, unease and uncertainty.
Aren't those kind of necessary?
They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you.
Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend?
What? Friends? As if? They're rivals! Rivals, right, Nick?
For now we are. I guess.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me! What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again.
Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're gonna watch it with me, right?
I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it.
You have to buy trading cards too, okay? You have to trade with Cody and that assistant!
Fine, I'll do it.
Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time.
I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. The end.